to the viewing audience. Thank you all so much for joining me. Welcome, new subs and chat members. This is a two-part live. The first commentary is coming from up north. Very disturbing story of an abused child who was failed by the system and subsequently murdered, buried. A relative aunt who's over his estate has decided to sue the Catholic Charities for their role in the abuse, neglect, abuse, and then the death, murder of the said boy child. Second part of this live is pertaining to the Navy. Boy, is this some disturbing news. Someone was secretly filming Naval servicemen and women in the restroom and posted the content, plural, to Pornhub. That's my second topic. Thank you for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. Please check my community board for said subject matters, updates, polls. Take the polls. I will put a poll up pertaining to the subject matter that I'm discussing. And please check my shorts. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $Viganti129 Cash App. Thank you for joining me.
Found dead in 2017 is suing Catholic Charities, saying an agency's social worker failed to report neglect and abuse. I'm IdeaStream's Nick Castell with details. Last year, Larissa Rodriguez and her boyfriend Christopher Rodriguez pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter and other charges in the death of her young son, Jordan. Social worker Nancy Caraballo was supposed to check in on Jordan. She has since pleaded guilty to grand theft and other charges. Prosecutors accuse her of falsifying her reports and buying the Rodriguez family's food benefits for 50 cents on the dollar.
And in doing so, that child was denied, this child, Jordan, was denied nutrition. That's one of our primary allegations.
Attorney J. Paul Deratani represents Jordan's estate. He says damages would benefit Jordan's siblings. His lawsuit accuses Caraballo and her employer, Catholic Charities, of failing to monitor Jordan's safety or report that he was living in substandard conditions. In a statement, Catholic Charities said Jordan's death weighed heavily on their minds and that all employees undergo background checks and extensive training. Nick Castell, 90.3.
Okay, so let's do a recap of this story because I was confused when reading it, trying to understand why this Catholic Charities was involved in this case with the child. So we have a young boy who's no longer alive, Jordan Rodriguez. He was buried in his family's backyard in late 2017. Mother Larissa Rodriguez and her boyfriend Christopher Rodriguez pleaded guilty last year to involuntary manslaughter and other charges in the boy's death. Let's ask that, involuntary manslaughter. So was it deliberate or not? When you're abusing a child, common sense would be, to me, it's intentional. So if they happen to die, you can't say that it's accidental because you're abusing the child. So common sense, if you continue to abuse a child, what else can happen? What is the worst case scenario? Death. They're both serving prison sentences, okay? And they're also named as defendants in the suit. As I said, where I was confused was the Catholic Charities. How did they play a role? Because if CPS had been involved in this child's life, then where did the Catholic Church Charities come into play? All right, so we have a woman by the name of Caraballo. She was supposed to be checking in on the family as part of the Catholic Charities contract with early intervention program Bright Beginnings, the suit says. Prosecutors accused Caraballo last year of buying Rodriguez's food stamps for 50 cents on the dollar and falsifying reports of her visits to the family. Caraballo pleaded guilty to grand theft and other charges last year. Michelle Rodriguez, who Durantini said is Jordan's aunt, is serving as the administrator of his estate and is the plaintiff in the suit. So we have a worker working for Charities, Catholic Charities. She's supposed to be checking in on this child, and she's working with this program. It's called an Early Intervention Program, Bright Beginnings. but she's not doing her job. She's not even going to the house to check on the child. So obviously the child's being abused, not living in the best conditions. And she's also purchasing food stamps from the mother. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Buying the food stamps for half. How do you even fix your face to ask the mother, hey, you got some food stamps for sale? Really? And the mother, God knows what the hell she was doing and had going on. I don't know if she's on drugs, alcohol, or what. She stupidly sold the damn food stamps. Because I'm trying to figure out who approached whom about the food stamps. This is baffling to me. You are working with an agency to help families, help children. You're a worker. Don't know what credentials you have. You have a, bachelor's in social work or what? Because all this is confusing to me because I thought the state had social workers that go out to the homes to, assess situations with families. So this Catholic Charities has some Bright Beginnings program. I don't know what they really do or don't do. Obviously, this worker, she wasn't doing anything. And that's why we don't want to speak bad of this organization, but this is a terrible look. You're sending this woman out to do her job, to check on a child, make sure he's doing what he needs to be doing, make sure the family's doing what they need to be doing. And instead, they're not feeding the child or children, obviously, because they're selling the food stamps to her. And God knows what else they were doing. And they were obviously abusing the child and murdered the child and buried the child in the backyard. How about that? Nancy Caraballo is her name. Did not monitor Jordan's safety or report he was living in substandard conditions. Now, I can only imagine what substandard means. Not so good. This is bad. And then the charity, they give their comment pertaining to the shock of the death of the child, and they can't comment, but they protect and advocate for those who are most vulnerable. Well, you didn't in this case. You sent somebody out who didn't do their job. She didn't do her job. So, people are going to wonder about this program. People are going to wonder about the charity in general. So what does this company do, this organization, Catholic Charities? What all do you do in the community? Because I don't think I'd want to be working with you. And this is what happens to organizations. There's always a bad apple or two or three, and they give an agency a bad name. They're involved in nefarious deeds. They're neglecting their duties on the job. They're doing nefarious deeds with people that they're supposed to be protecting, helping. And in this case, Caraballo was selfish. She wasn't checking on the child. And then she's buying food stamps from the mother. This is bad. Jordan Rodriguez, 5 years old, abused by his parents, murdered by his parents, buried in the backyard, and the worker who was assigned through the Catholic Charities didn't do her job. So where does the state come in? I've got a feeling you all are to blame as well. So there's a lawsuit, and medical providers and the state are mentioned but not sued. And I think the reason why they're not sued, the state, is because it's hard to get the state to ever pay for abuse, neglect, and then murder of a child. Okay? Hello, dear. Let me bring you some more information pertaining to this case. Protect and advocate for those who are most vulnerable. All employees undergo thorough background checks, extensive training with regard to ethics, specifically their duties to report child abuse or neglect. Catholic Charities remains dedicated to its core values and will continue its mission of serving the most vulnerable throughout Northeast Ohio and furthering the healing of the work of Jesus. A spokesperson of Cuyahoga County, which is not named as a defendant in the suit, declined to comment. Of course you weren't going to comment. Nobody wants to comment on this story. Why would they? Wow. You can check out my video from yesterday. pertaining to the Kansas City Chiefs friends who died outside of one of their associates' homes. And an autopsy report is complete, but it's not going to be released until the state's attorney decides to release the information. So will there be charges against someone or the friend who owned the house? I'm just curious. I want to bring you some more information about this kid because I want to bring you all the people that were named in the suit. And also that live stream pertains to Wendy Williams' husband who wants his back alimony payments. Lord have mercy, don't get me started on that. Okay. Also, O.J. Simpson, who has passed away, he died of metastatic prostate cancer. So obviously he was in the final stages when he passed away. For those who may be curious, I'm going to go to Google because I had more information about this case, about Jordan. Thank you all so much for joining me. Because I was trying to figure out why this Catholic Charities was involved. Will the Catholic Charities pay? Because you can sue somebody civilly. Doesn't mean that they'll pay. As we've learned in many cases pertaining to crime, person go to trial, found guilty, not guilty. Let's say they found not guilty. So then the family decides to sue the perpetrator. Sometimes they win. Sometimes they don't. But even if you win the judgment, you've got to get the money. So will the Catholic Charities pay? So we're talking about a 2017 death. Says 4-year-old now, Cleveland boy. Very scary. Here are the defendants named in the complaint. Catholic Charities, a former caseworker who was required to visit the Rodriguez home. Hold on one second. Jumping off there. Jordan's mom, Larissa, and her boyfriend, Christopher Rodriguez. Jurors also found the Cuyahoga County Department of Children and Family Services and Metro Health Medical Center employees or contractors liable, though they were not named in the lawsuit. So that's where I have a problem as well. Why didn't you put them in the lawsuit? Because rarely does the state pay money to families for abused, neglected, and murdered children. We've seen this time and time again. Children are murdered under the care of Child and Family Services. They were supposed to be checking in on the children. They had an open case. The child ends up dying. And then somebody in the family decides they want to take them to court. Hell, might even be the parents of the children who lost custody. Because a lot of times the children are murdered in foster care or adoptive family. And then the family, as you saw with the mess out in California, Bakersfield, California, Cal City, those people want to sue, but yet they failed the children too, because you're the reason the children are in the care of foster care to be adopted. And everybody's going to say the same thing. Oh, we vet, we clear, we do background checks. That's what people don't seem to understand about crime. You don't have to have a criminal record to get a criminal record. Makes no sense. A lot of people who are committing crimes have not been caught, you see. And that's where people get delusional about people in general. You assume, oh, well, they've been checked, they're okay people, they're foster parents, they're adoptive parents. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't abuse the kid. Yes, they would, because people have done it. So there's no such thing of what a person would not do. What you have to say is, I didn't think he or she would do that. But that doesn't mean they wouldn't do it. They lie, they cheat, they steal, they fornicate, they abuse people, sexually molest, rape. Who's going to tell you, oh yeah, secretly, I like little children. I like abusing children. I like touching children inappropriately. I like peering through windows. I like filming people. I like cheating and stealing from my job. Who's going to tell you that? Nobody. Exactly. So once again, in that lawsuit, you have the parents of the little boy, Cuyahoga County Department of Children and Family Services, and Metro Health Medical Center employees or contractors, though they were not named in the suit. So we don't have the medical providers or the County Department of Children and Family Services. And as I said, I know why she didn't do that, because she knew, the aunt, I won't get any money. And a lawyer probably told her that. You're not going to get any money from the Department of Human Services. People don't get money from the Department of Human Services. Even if they're found liable, even if they have proof that a worker didn't do his or her job, they doctored paperwork, they lied on paperwork to say they visited and they didn't see anything. That's what this woman did with the Catholic Charities. But see, Catholic Charities is a different entity than the State Department. Catholic Charities is its own entity, okay? So they can be sued. The state, yeah, you can sue them, but you're probably going to get no damn money. That's why she didn't name them in the suit. I still don't understand this about the medical providers. So was the child going to the doctor? Not going to the doctor. So then you got to say, well, we got proof that he's going to the doctor, but somebody ignored wounds, bruises. Parents and somebody explained them away when a doctor should have known, or a nurse, oh, this doesn't look right, this doesn't sound right. So then the child go to the doctor with visible wounds to his body, and somebody pushed it under the rug. You're not supposed to do that, because you're supposed to do due diligence by a child if you see wounds to the child that looks like it was inflicted by someone else, such as an adult. So is there, or are there, medical records to show he was going to the doctor often, or not going to the doctor, not getting his immunizations, not going to school? Lots of questions. The heartbreaking case was thrust into the spotlight December 2017 when Jordan's body was found abused and buried in the backyard of the home where he lived 6 months later. Larissa Rodriguez, Christopher Rodriguez, each pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter, with both currently serving at least 25 years in prison. How do you feel about that prison sentence? 25 years is enough? You're abusing your child and that's all you get? Then the separate case, once again, this is about the Catholic Charities. Nancy Carabello, as I told you before, she worked for them, and they were working with the state, I'm assuming. Required to make monthly visits to Rodriguez's home, was sentenced to 3 years behind bars after admitting to paying off Larissa Rodriguez for the food stamp benefits that were meant for Jordan and his siblings. On at least 11 occasions, Carabello falsified her reports to cover up the fact she had not been inside the home, even though it was her responsibility to report neglect and abuse to the proper authorities. From the beginning of the case, Michelle Rodriguez told WKYC she had questions and concerns. So what is it? You were going to see the child, couldn't see the child, your sister wouldn't bring the child around. What happened? Hey, where's my nephew? How's he doing? So how did the other children look? Because you have to think about it. If you're abusing one, are you abusing the other children? So were the other children being abused? Were they being fed? Did she spend all the food stamps, sell all the food stamps to mother and father? Did the mother sell all of the food stamps? So then you have to ask that question. Were the children starving, not fed? Or were they only abusing that one child? Was he developmentally delayed? We see a lot of that, where the child is either autistic or has a disability. Maybe they act out, they're a bit disruptive. The parents don't know how to cope, so they beat the child, or they put the child in a cage, as you heard this latest story of an 11-year-old boy caged up in a house. What happened? Because you hear that a lot in a lot of these cases. Oh, the child was difficult. He or she was hard to maintain. So they locked the child in a closet, a room, a cage, a basement. And then we later hear the worst case scenario, the child has been unalived. So this woman, Michelle Rodriguez, sister of the perpetrator, said concerns. 2019, she filed a complaint in civil court claiming the defendants turned a blind eye to clear and present indications of ongoing physical abuse and neglect, acting indifferently to Jordan's safety and well-being, leaving him exposed to long-standing and continuing harm and to his untimely death. According to Cleveland.com, Catholic Charities will be required to pay no less than $960,000 for the final penalty, with the jury placing the majority of the blame for Jordan's death on Larissa Rodriguez. The plaintiffs had asked for $81 million, though it is unknown if potential punitive damages could eventually meet that number. So the original lawsuit is for $81 million. Wow, that's a lot of money. But the Catholic Charities will have to pay no less than $960,000, which is almost $1 million. Once again, will they pay the $960,000? WKYC 3 News is the source of this information. So both parents are in penitentiary doing at least 25 years. Social worker for Catholic Charities, she got a 3-year sentence for falsifying documents and also buying food stamps from the mother, which is fraud. You don't know people. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, priestess. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. We live in a sad world. And it doesn't matter who people are, where they come from. They're all, and that's including myself, all of us, we're susceptible to doing wrong. It's just a matter of where you get caught. And in this case, finally, the parents were caught. I don't know when they started abusing the little boy at birth, 1 year old, 2 years old. I don't know if they abused the other children. But nonetheless, one child is now dead. And the parents are incarcerated. 25 years, at least 25 years in prison. Social worker who didn't do her job, didn't go to the visits as she was supposed to go. Falsifying at least 11 documents that she did go and she didn't. And then she was buying food stamps. As I said earlier, how do you fix your face to buy food stamps from the mother? I'm trying to ask myself, who asked whom first? You're working with an organization, you don't even think that it can get back to them? You don't think if you decided to do right and tell the truth that the little boy was being abused, you think that girl wouldn't have went and told on you? Of course she would have. Hell yeah, she would have told. She would have sure told. Yeah, well, by the way, you taking my kid from me, I sold her food stamps. Now she'd be a fool because it's fraud and it's a crime. But desperate people do desperate things. And I'm sure the worker's probably the one who solicited her about the food stamps. She probably felt like, oh, she's getting a lot of food stamps for a lot of children. I'll see if she'll sell me a couple, you know. I'll see if she'll sell me a couple. And she did. So like I said, I don't know who approached whom about the food stamps, but they made an even exchange. Now you got to ask yourself, how many times did she sell her food stamps? How long was she on the case? Did she sell her food stamps every month? How much was it? Did she sell some of the food stamps, all of the food stamps? Because she had children. But justice has been served. The parents are in penitentiary. The social workers in penitentiary. And the aunt of the little boy is suing Catholic Charities. I think you should sue the Department of Human Services. Because Catholic Charities worked with them. They had a partnership. Because that's what I was trying to understand when I put it on my post. Feel free to go over to my community page to check out the post. I was confused at where Catholic Charities came in. So they had some type of program called Bright Beginnings. And it's in conjunction, I guess, with the state. They got a contract. But still the state failed the little boy. Because without the Department of Human Services, you wouldn't have had the Catholic Charities to intervene to send this Caraballo lady over who's buying food stamps and doctoring documents. That's my content, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Second conversation. Lord have mercy. Is this a doozy here? Is this a doozy here, everybody? Goes to show you don't know what's going on out here. But like I said, nobody's exempt from doing wrong. It's just a matter of when you get caught, if you get caught. And that lady knew better than to buy those food stamps. If you were going to buy some food stamps, you should have bought them from somebody you didn't know nothing about. Somebody that wasn't working with your agency. Only a fool would work with an organization, and you're supposed to be going there to check on the kid, and you're going to buy the food stamps from the family that you're working for. Now, that's to let you know this woman was a fool, and the woman, the mother, she's a fool. They're probably drug addicts. The parents are probably drug addicts. Won't doubt me none. Once again, O.J. Simpson has passed away. Diagnosis, metastatic prostate cancer. Just in case some of you who follow content pertaining to O.J. Simpson. Let's get down to business, everybody. This is my second topic for the hour. This is some disturbing news I found yesterday, and I could not wait to bring you this information because this is so baffling to me about this. That's right, you don't where you eat. Exactly. Purple flame, exactly. You know, like I said, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody does wrong, do wrong. I'm not here to say, hey, everybody's flawed. But there's no way I'm getting ready to work for an agency and do anything with the people in the agency. If I'm going to check on a family, I'm not going to do anything with this family. If I was going to break the law, just say if I'm going to break the law, I'm going to break the law somewhere else. With somebody else. They have nothing to do with my job. But this is how stupid people are. They don't think. This woman was stupid. The mother of the child, stupid. Both parents. Abusing the child, probably the other children too. Ain't no telling what else they were doing, the parents. See, you never know with people. This is my point. You don't know people. Just like I said, that recent story that's out about the boy locked in a cage, 11. The parents went on and admitted they had been locking him in the cage, they said, for 6 years. Well, if you subtract, that means you've been locking your baby up since he was 5, autistic boy. Then we find out the daughter, she's autistic. They got a couple of kids. So you got 2 autistic children. You're locking her in her room, scared to even ask what the conditions are. And then you're locking the boy child up, an 11-year-old, in a big old dog cage in the living room. Police finally knocked on the door. There's a little in a cage. And the stupid ass father told, been doing it for 6 years. He gets unruly. Oh, okay. Well, put your hands behind your back. You got the right to remain silent. You and mommy have the right to remain silent. And guess what? Took them to jail. Ding, ding. They're free. Free, what they say? Free like OJ all day. Yeah, and OJ, he all day free too. Okay, you hear what I'm saying? He free too. He all the way free now, O.J. Simpson. Lord have mercy. Somebody, help the queen. All right, everybody. News Nation, this is some baffling information. What I'm about to read to you is very disturbing news coming from our military, and they have the right to sue. And this case is going to be really no different than the case of this little boy being abused. Whenever you're dealing with the government, state, such as Department of Human Services, our military, it is very hard for you to get a just payment for improprieties, sexual assault, rape, fraud, because the state don't want to pay. Everybody knows this. I don't care if from the state all the way up to our national government. They do not want to pay. Now, luckily, Mr. Biden, 2 years ago, put a bill out for Camp Lejeune. I never knew about this issue with Camp Lejeune having tainted water. So anybody that worked on the base, near the base, between certain amount of years, between I think 86 to 93 or something, you can get a payment. You have every right to get a payment if you became sick. And I brought you that information about Mr. Bobbitt, the man who got his wee-wee cut off. He's got all his toes missing from tainted water when he was in the military at Camp Lejeune. So that's a rare situation of somebody getting monies from the government, because the government don't like to pay. Somebody could beat you to death on a base, in a state office, Good luck trying to get your money. That's all I'm saying. All right, everybody, let's get down to business. More than 100 consensual and secretly filmed sexual videos of Navy service members stationed at a base in Guam were uploaded to the pornographic website Pornhub in 2020, according to recently sealed court documents reviewed by NewsNation. The Navy opened an investigation into the uploads in early January 2020 after becoming aware, oh, this is so crazy, of 102 videos, some that included names and rankings of multiple service members posted to the adult site. States and federal search warrant application unsealed earlier this month in the District Court of Guam. Those videos were uploaded by an account with the username PlayGuy148 and appeared to have been shot in the men's restroom of the Liberty Center aboard Naval Base Guam and other Navy vessels. Repeat, Liberty Center, the restroom at Liberty Center, that's the name of the boat, vessel, aboard the Naval Base Guam and other Navy vessels. So that's plural. More videos. So naturally, this is somebody that's in the military, because standard civilians don't got no damn business on board. Now, it also mentions that civilians were on these ships doing what? I don't know, I guess contract work. But I want to make sure I repeat that. More than one vessel. The videos are from more than one vessel. So how many vessels were the videos shot from? Because you say 102 were uploaded videos. So how many vessels, how many bathrooms, how many boats did this person put secret cameras to film men? You see what it said, men. I want to make sure I repeat everything correctly. This is BS right here. Hold on a minute, everybody. This is crazy. It said, appeared to have been shot in the men's restroom. Don't hear women. Don't hear ladies' restrooms. Men. Many of the videos, which included audio, appeared to depict various U.S. military members masturbating in the bathroom stalls to pornographic materials viewed on electronic devices, the warrant application stated. The videos were filmed either above, below, or through the holes in the walls of the bathroom stalls, and investigators were able to determine that the two primary Guam-based United States Naval commands contained the greatest number of identifiable victims. So, two primary Guam-based United States Naval commands had the greatest amount of unidentifiable victims. So now you got victims being filmed, or were, past tense, hopefully, that they don't even know who the hell they are. Both the land and cable have mixed gender crews of about 900 sailors and 150 civilians, military.com reported. The Office of the United States Attorney did not immediately return a request for comment by NewsNation. Hell no, they ain't getting ready to return a comment. Navy investigators contacted Pornhub within days of discovering the content in 2020, and the company took the videos down, court records show. The warrant stated that there was probable cause that the behavior violated federal laws against video voyeurism and illegal interception and communications. Okay. Then they have this thing thrown in this article that says adult website VPN searches spike after Pornhub disabled in Texas. Don't know what that's about. Investigators then subpoenaed the company to obtain subscriber information into the account that posted the videos to find out who was behind the surreptitious, recordings, records say. Pornhub provided the details of the account holder under the subpoena, but the investigator recommended that information be obtained via warrant in order to avoid violating any search laws, the records state. Okay. The warrant application also requested that the case be sealed. Oh, wow. 12 more requests were made to seal documents pertaining to the case, according to the court docket. The case was unsealed April 17, 2024, and there are no indictments or arrests associated with the case reported by Pacific News. Pornhub changed its rules around violent and underage content in December of 2020, a move critics say would not go far enough to address a growing problem of non-consensual videos, Axios reported. So 2020 is just a few years ago. So Pornhub, what is your problem? So what were you showing? Just any kind of porn? Different type of sex acts? Sex acts with what? Animals, children, what? Violent porn? You know, what? Snuff films? What are we talking about? Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is wicked. I just brought you information the other day, just with us, you know, rambling in conversation about, I was looking at a short in YouTube, and the guy is at Target, I think. And somebody is filming him, just like I'm looking at you right now in this monitor. Okay. The guy is bending down on the ground. He's squatted in an aisle. And he's got his phone like this, you know, under the girl's skirt. So he's squatting down behind her. She's squatting down like she's looking at something. And he's got his phone under her dress. She had a little short skirt on, a little pleated skirt. So he's got the phone under her skirt. And then there's somebody in the aisle filming him. Are you all hearing what I'm saying? He's squatting on the ground with a phone, got his phone on the floor, filming the girl underneath her skirt. She don't see nothing that's going on, but he's so stupid. While he's down there with his phone, trying to take pictures of her undies or whatever, somebody's standing in the aisle filming him. This is how crazy people are. So let's get down to business. Who uploaded the content to Pornhub? 102 videos. Military, obviously, did not want this information out, but it needs to be out because those people's names were put on the videos and their ranks. So the person who put the camera in the bathroom knew what he was doing, assumingly it's a he. It did not say that women were filmed. It did not say that the videos are from women's restrooms. What type of sick, sadistic MF are you to be putting cameras in a restroom watching men masturbate or pee or use the bathroom or whatever the hell they're doing in there? That is their private business, what they're doing in a restroom, and you have no right to be filming anybody in a restroom on a military base, military vessel, public restroom, private restroom. I'm sick of this R. Kelly, P. Diddy shit. This is sick. Is this person of a higher rank? Because in order for you to post the video and put their names and their ranks, naturally, he knows who these guys are. And on these vessels, you're talking about hundreds of people. So I want you to think about that. Hundreds of people coming and going on the vessel. And you also heard 150 civilians working on the vessel. Those are probably the people he didn't know. They're civilians. They're, contract workers. This is sickening. Holes in the ceiling, the walls, or the floors. How are you going to put a fucking camera in the floor? The floor is going to be harder surface than the ceiling. Let's say, okay, we have tiles up there if it's not drywall. Because if it's not tiles, that means somebody had access to be drilling holes. So could this be somebody who works in a capacity that worked with, electrical? Because I didn't think about that until just now. But then that wouldn't make any sense because how would you hire a contractor? He would know the ranks of the people and their names. I don't see that happening. This is somebody that's in the military, because in order for you to know the names of the people and their ranks, you are also a service member yourself. I want the fucking person apprehended, and I want them to stand account because this is vicious. Just imagine, videos are circulating on Pornhub. You think the videos weren't uploaded to other sites besides Pornhub? Ding, 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 stay woke. You should know there's always another copy of any type of salacious video. If a person films you right now in their home having sex with you, you don't think they ain't doubled it up, saved it in a file, put it somewhere? So Pornhub had a copy. The perpetrator had a copy. The perpetrator probably uploaded those videos to other websites. And Pornhub could have copies of that, and they could probably post it to another site affiliated with them. Because best believe whoever owns Pornhub, they probably got other sites that they own as well. So the military, you go in with your warrant, they take the videos down, you can best believe those videos are still circulating out here. And the dirty motherfucker that filmed, they gotta whoop your ass. They oughta whoop your ass. You need your tail beat. Do you hear me? Beat and drugged. Because you are a sick SOB to be filming your fellow service members in the privacy of the restroom. And whatever they're doing in there, that's their business. Because nobody has a right to look at you while you're using the restroom. So it doesn't matter if you're in there masturbating, touching yourself, talking on the phone, whatever the hell you're doing, that's your privacy, that's your right. Will the military release the name of the perpetrator? Because by now, the military knows who the perpetrator is, and they've known for 4 years. It would not have taken long once you got the warrant from Pornhub and they released the person's name. You have resources to track IP address, all that type of nonsense. Who is it? Is there more than one perpetrator? How about that? Let's go there. Is there more than one perpetrator? Did this man secretly tell another service member, hey, let me tell you what I've been doing? I've put holes in the walls in the bathroom stalls, blah, 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 and I've been filming you all jacking off in the bathroom, using the bathroom. Do you know how disgusting that is? Because a bathroom is disgusting. If it ain't your own bathroom, it's disgusting. And the thought that somebody's in there watching you while you're in there, and then they had the audacity not to just film you, because see, it's one thing to watch. Let's go in order. It's one thing to watch somebody in the bathroom, but then you filmed it. Okay, that's two. Then you uploaded the content to Pornhub and God knows where else, and then you put their names and their ranks on the videos. So you are a dirty motherfucker. You are voyeur, you are sick, and I won't be surprised if you've done some other nasty things on that ship and other ships. And let's throw that in there as well to topple it over. The icing on the cake. He has done this on other boats, vessels, military vessels. So we're talking about a sadistic motherfucker. Who is he? What's his rank? How long has he been doing this? Has he uploaded content to other porn sites? What's on his phone, his computer, iPad? Has he sexually assaulted any service members? Because obviously this is a man that's doing this. Is he in cahoots with any other service member? Is this some type of underground group, military group? Are others involved? Have knowledge of these people? Did he spread these videos around? How far out are the videos? Because Pornhub is one entity. It does not mean he has not uploaded that content to other sites. And then you got to ask yourself, does Pornhub charge for the content? I don't know how it works because I don't know anything about it. Do they pay? Do they pay you for the videos? Are there sites that pay you something for the material? This is depressing. But this is why I keep saying, thousands of stories out here of abuse of people. People abusing people. It's one thing to abuse children, the elderly, but us abusing ourselves. This is what's out here. Dirty ass people. Sick, demented people. And I have told you all before in my commentary pertaining to sadistic behavior such as peeping Toms. What have I told you before about a peeper? You can only look through the glass for so long. Stay woke. Say it again, Queen. You can only look through the glass for so long. So, let me give you an analogy. You're walking by the store window and you're looking at the dress or the pantsuit in the window. And you're looking at it and you like it. How long are you going to stand there and look at that outfit through the glass? I'll wait. Maybe you don't decide to go in the store that day, but you go by tomorrow. Outfit still in the window. Is anybody following the Queen? Now I must go in the store to have a look for myself. Oh, wow, this is nice. Now I want to touch the garment. I'm already in the store. Let me touch the fabric. Let me pull it off the hanger. Now I want to try it on. You see, voyeurism starts at a young age. And it also leads to sexual assault. And then sometimes it leads to murder. Now, some might say, damn, Queen, that's kind of deep. You going from putting holes in the bathroom to murder? Hell yeah, I am. Because this type of behavior has a jump off. And the jump off, as I said, usually starts when you're young. So this person probably has been peeping and looking at pornographic material at a young age. Preteen, teenager. Joined the military. They're now in the midst of being around men and women, they say, on this boat. But I got a feeling we're talking about a homosexual male. Stay woke. We don't know his age. We don't know his race. We don't know his rank. We don't know if others are involved in the filming. But this is somebody who is bitter and they are trifling as fuck. Oh, it goes deeper than just voyeurism. Please pay attention. You're talking about a nasty SOB who is also vindictive. Because not only did he film them doing what they're doing, he also posted their names and their ranks. So he wanted people to know who they are and what they've been doing in the restroom. Stay woke. I'll get back at you and you and you and you. So it's deeper than just a peeping Tom, a sicko wacko. This motherfucker is vindictive. And he should know that somebody's going to go say something about the people's names and the ranks. Somebody's going to go and say, hey, this has been filmed in a bathroom on a vessel. What fool would one do it and not think somebody watching the porn isn't going to go say something? Because what they have to tell themselves, even though I like porn, but hey, there's a fine line between secretly filming people. Because if you like watching porn or looking at naked pictures of penises, vaginas, that's your business. We're all human. But we're not talking about looking at porn. Watching people have sex in a video, that's not the same as somebody being filmed without their knowledge. Who the fuck does that? And it would be wrong to film somebody having sex. uploading it to a porn site or sharing it with your friends. The game is still the same. It's trifling and it's disrespectful because you can ruin a person's life, career, uploading dirty content, spreading it around in Messenger. Oh, Queen has seen some things, trust me. And people don't think. You're sitting here having sex with a man and you look like you're looking in the camera and you don't know that people have seen this video of you and this man. She don't care. She's a nasty bitch. She don't care. Because obviously she don't have nothing to live for. You know, pill head, drug head, don't care. And you got some people out here, they wouldn't care that somebody uploaded content of them having sex. Oh, I filmed a video of us. I put it on Pornhub. You did? Okay. To each his own. Who is the service member that posted these videos to Pornhub? What is his rank? How old is he? What is his race? And what is the military going to do? Because the fact that this is from 2020, you got to ask yourself how old the videos were. Because investigations in 2020, who knows how long the person had been filming people in the bathrooms and anywhere else. And you can best believe when they come off that ship, they're doing some other shit. Did you hear what I said? They're doing dirty shit on that ship besides filming. And God forbid, when they touch on land, they are a wrecking ball. Is this a military cover-up? Because as I said, you've got to ask yourself, how old is the content of the 102 videos? Because it is 2024 and we're just now hearing about this story. So do the math. 2020, 2024 is released. But military wants the documents sealed. So now you got to try to figure out how old is the content of the videos. How many other places has the videos, where else have they been shared? Did you contact the people in the videos? Bingo card. Did videos to let them know they were being watched by a service member on those vessels? How about that? Now imagine being on the vessels. You are currently in the military right now, Navy, and you now have heard that some dirty bugger that you worked alongside has been filming you in the restroom. You would be very ashamed. You would be leery because this is your comrade. They're supposed to have your back. But this is what we say in the street. There is no loyalty nowhere. Say it again, Queen. There is no loyalty nowhere. Not at work, school, family, drug game, street life. It's all the same. You're welcome, sweetheart. There is no loyalty out here. And this is what you have to teach your children when they come out of your womb. You can't trust people because they will disappoint you. It's in the scripture. Do not put your trust in man. He will surely disappoint you. And naturally, you can't walk around not wanting to talk to people, not wanting to deal with people. You don't want your children fearful of everybody. But we live in a sadistic world to where you have to tell your children what to look out for and what to be aware of. It's called blind trust. And we all have been in a predicament to be betrayed. Period. Whether it's being filmed, abused, lied on, cheated, robbed, sexually assaulted, and then murdered. You don't know people. And this story is a prime example of no loyalty in the military. And I have brought you content a few years ago of the young lady who was beat by a black man, military, army person. She was beat in a rec room, and he was able to put her body in a tote and carry her out on the base and dispose of her body, and got help from a white girl in dismembering her, setting on fire, doing all type of crazy shit. You don't know people. Allegedly, he was making sexual advances toward her. She wasn't interested. Beautiful girl, no longer alive. And I believe there are allegations of somebody else that was trying to sexually assault her or make advances to her, a higher ranking person in the military. Oh, we don't know anything about it. Haven't heard anything. Well, she told somebody before she was killed. And this story it's just as baffling as this shit here, because she got murdered on a base. She didn't get murdered in the street. She didn't get murdered in an apartment. She didn't get murdered in somebody else's apartment. She didn't get murdered at a bar or walking home or, out lollygagging around in the city. She got murdered on the base, and he walked out with her body in a fucking toolbox, tote, however he stuffed her. Shit. So the people can't even feel safe on the military base. And we've heard numerous stories of sexual assault, bullying, hazing in the military. The men abuse men, the men abuse women. And hell, it might be some women abusing women, I don't know. And I have said this before, and I may do a video on this perhaps next week when I get myself settled in. We need to talk about abuse in the military because it's rampant. And there are probably countless thousands of stories that have not been told for fear of retaliation. And I can see a lot of these people, men and women, taking their own lives because they know what's going to happen to them once they open their mouth. There's a chance they probably won't wake up. Then they've got to be scrutinized by the military. The next thing you know, they want to let you go. They'll make up some old sap-ass reason to kick you out the military. Now you're dishonorably discharged. You don't want that record on you just because you wanted to tell the truth, your truth, that somebody was bothering you, sexually assaulting you, or putting their hands, groping, making derogatory comments. It's got to stop. So I would tell most young women, I don't advise no young woman going into the military. And I get tired of people coming back, always having something to say about what experience they didn't have. We're not talking about you. I bring all type of content pertaining to these sick-ass people out here. And there's always somebody going to comment, well, that didn't happen to me. Well, count your lucky stars. Count your lucky stars it didn't happen to you. Count your lucky stars you weren't gang raped by your comrades. You're not sexually assaulted and groped and nasty things are said to you by your ranking official, high-ranking official, or your other comrades. Count yourself lucky. Just like I was talking to somebody in the chat about traveling abroad, going to Mexico, all the crazy stuff going on in Mexico with people not coming back alive and being hurt and found dead. Well, I went to Mexico. I had a great time. So what? So what? Count yourself lucky. You went to Mexico and you lived. Congratulations. Stop acting like shit can't happen to you. I see that a lot with people. I see it in conversations with people. I see it up here on YouTube, Facebook. I see it in the comments. Some of you act like nothing bad could happen to you. Well, I don't live over there, so I don't have to worry about being carjacked. I don't live over there. I don't have to worry about anybody kicking in my that would would never happen to me. Oh, I would leave him alone. I would never be in an abusive relationship. I would never let anybody talk down to me. I would never. Everybody has done some bullshit. Everybody has been in a bad situation. Everybody has tolerated things they shouldn't have tolerated. I give advice up here all the time, and I don't even take the advice I give you all because I'm human. And I have readily admitted that on the live stream, and I'm doing it again today. Sometimes you keep beating your head against a rock, knowing the results. You stop when you're ready to stop. But don't ever think you can't be a victim. That's what some of you need to understand. You need to come off your high horse and stop acting like bad shit can't happen to you. Stop thinking you know people. You don't. You see this box that you're watching Queen on? It's called YouTube. Why do you think it has that title? Because it's about you. It's about me. The stories that you two have, the content uploaded is about people sharing their story, their version, their perception of life, and also their fucking downfalls. So don't ever think something bad can't happen to you. Don't ever think you cannot be in a situation where you can be abused, manipulated, conned, duped, and God knows the worst case scenario, unalived. Because whoever has been filming these people, they are sadistic. And you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to excel to something worse if they haven't already. No way you could sleep with yourself and feel proud knowing you've been filming men in a restroom on a military ship, plural, and upload the content to Pornhub and God knows where else and feel good about yourself. And they probably do. But you shouldn't feel good because you have violated trust. You had no right to film these men. You had no right. And it's going to be just as disturbing if it's a low-ranking official versus a high-ranking official. You are still sick. And no one is safe in the military. Let me make that clear. Because you are with people who are not well. So no matter how they got in the military, as we love to use the word vetted, cleared, no one is exempt from sadism. And you see it all the time. Rabbi, priests, military, high-ranking officials, politicians, movie stars, actors, sportsmen, sportswomen. People are sick. Police officers surely can't leave their asses out. Oh, they took a test. They passed the test. They passed the physical. They lied. Have you ever taken those tests they give you for a job? Excuse me. 100 questions. And the questions are asked 6, 7 different ways. It's to see if you're going to tell the truth. Would you steal from your job? Yes or no? Would you tell on Bobby if you saw Bobby stealing? Yes or no? It's to trip you up. And anybody with some sense knows the answer no. Even if they're thinking about stealing, have stolen, will steal. It's a game. The questions are a game. Now, that could be the first question on the test, and by the time you get to question number 7, they may re-ask you that question, but word it in a different way. It's to see if you're paying attention. And you now know that the people were paying attention because they got the damn job. They got the job at the retail store. They got the job at some high-ranking company. They got the job as a police officer. They got inducted into the military, so on and so forth, because they knew what to say. And that's what a sociopath does. He or she says what is expected of him or her. It's called mimicking. I'm doing what is expected of me, not how I really feel. Hell yeah, I want to choke the shit out of her, beat her up and throw her in a hole. But I can't tell you that's how I really feel about her. I can't tell you I really hate women. I can't tell you I really hate men. You see where I'm going? I can't tell you I hate Mexicans, black people. I hate the Jews, Arabs, Palestinians, whomever. That would be incorrect. So I pretend to get along with everybody, to like everybody. I pretend I don't have any sadistic ways. I pretend that it's wrong to grope a woman, grope a man, grope a child, lure a child into nefarious deeds. I pretend. I put on a front that I'm normal when I know that I am not. I pretend to like everybody when I do not. I pretend that I'm not sad as fucking depressed, suicidal, homicidal, because I know that is unacceptable. That is what you have out here. And that is what you need to be leery of. The pretender. And I send this message to you today because you need to understand that you do not know people. You don't know your family, your friends, your neighbor, the people you work with. You don't know people. And this is why people are so shocked every day when they hear these horrible stories, such as this information here. It's because you're trusting people and you can't. You need to be very leery. You do need to be careful in a bathroom. I thought about it recently in a public bathroom. I thought, what if somebody's in here filming? You know, in the Walmart, Kroger, grocery store, using the restroom. What if somebody's in here filming? And lo and behold, I would find this story a week later. And this is a private ship. This isn't some random ship that you just go jump on and go around and look around in the bathroom. This is a military ship. It's a Navy ship. Ships, plural. You can't even go use a bathroom on a military ship. You can't use the bathroom in a public place. Hell, you can't use the bathroom in a private place. You don't know who has a camera in the bathroom. Got it put up in a light fixture. You just have to be leery. That's my message today to everyone. Because this story is not your average story that we hear of the bullying, you know, the sexual improprieties of against women by men in the military. This is a man, obviously, who I think likes men. Because that's what was mentioned in the commentary. Cameras were found, handiwork rather, in men's restrooms. So there's somebody out there that's in the military that is disgusting, vile, and he has not been let go out of the military. And that's what's going to be even more disturbing. He is still in the military and possibly still doing the same thing. And God forbid he's probably put his hands on somebody inappropriately. Because as I said, you don't wake up and start drilling holes in walls and stalls and ceilings. You are far gone. And it's only a matter of time. He is going to be doing something else. He's going to be putting his hands on another guy. He's going to be trying to get a man to have sexual relations with him, or he's going to forcibly rape a man. So we're talking about, I guess, a homosexual man, because what straight man is going to film other men? Help me understand. Unless we're talking about a straight man who has a vendetta against the military. Take your pick. Because I don't want to just discriminate against one. certain kind who, so somebody won't say, oh, you're bashing gay men. Well, it doesn't really matter if you're gay or straight. You have no business putting cameras in the fucking restroom. So is this a homosexual man? What is his rank? Age, race? Has he been reprimanded by the military, and will they release his name? And is this a straight man who has a vendetta against the military? Angry with the military. Maybe he's been hurt, bullied, raped himself. I don't know. Because see, the rabbit hole goes deep. Because it's just as quick as I can say, oh, it's a gay man doing it. Somebody could come back and say, well, Angie, what if he's straight? What if he's mad? What if he's vindictive? Somebody did something to him, so he wants to get back at these men. So now we are really opening Pandora's box. What if this is somebody who has been hurt? Is this a man who's been bullied, hazed, sexually assaulted, outed? Oh, well now. Oh, queen. Wow, 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 wow. I bet none of you thought about that when I was talking. 1 hour in, how deep is this rabbit's hole? Because the possibilities are endless. Are we talking about a man who's homosexual? Man who's outed, teased, bullied. This is his way of getting back at his comrades. I'll show them. A whole nother angle. Maybe it's not a sadistic, peeping Tom voyeur for the reasons we're thinking, trying to get his rocks off. Maybe he's masturbating at them masturbating. Could this be a serviceman who was turned on, lied on, mistreated, didn't get a position he wanted? Oh, had an interest in someone. They didn't say anything back, shunned him. What do we say here? Because the obvious motive to some of us would be, this is just a dirty old son of a something getting their rocks off, watching men in a restroom on a Navy ships, uploaded the content, but that's where it has the twist to it. When he put the names and the ranks, that shows vindictiveness. Stay woke. That shows vindictiveness. And that maybe the reason is not for sexual purposes, not for his own gratification to watch them masturbate or whatever they're doing in the restroom. Maybe it's for revenge. Somebody or someone, plural, did something to the perpetrator. They were perpetrators, and then he became a perpetrator. Because as Dr. Phil loves to say, hurt people hurt people. So perhaps this is someone who was assaulted, outed, mistreated, bullied. He turned the tables on the service on the ships. Maybe he was reprimanded for something. Maybe he did something wrong and he was reprimanded. He wanted payback. Is this military payback? And will this be a cover-up by the military? Are you going to release the name of the perpetrator? And will there be lawsuits to the military for those whose videos were videoed and uploaded to Pornhub? Are there other copies out there? Once again, how far down the rabbit hole does this nonsense go? And who has knowledge of the videos when they were filmed? Stay woke. Thank you for joining me. God bless all of you. Have a wonderful weekend. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below this video. I will post a poll pertaining to this content and the Rodriguez content earlier in this live. The first content is pertaining to a 4 or 5-year-old boy who was murdered by his parents, buried in the backyard. An aunt has sued the Catholic Charities in Ohio for neglect. A social worker was supposed to be going to check on the little boy. She doctored documents and visitations and also bought food stamps for half from the mother. She's now serving a 3-year sentence, and the parents are serving at least a 25-year sentence for the abuse and murder of their son, Jordan Rodriguez. The state should also be sued. And any medical provider that had knowledge that the child was abused and nobody called it in, schools, Department of Human Services, medical providers, if they had knowledge that the child was being neglected, they should go down as well. Thank you for joining me, everybody. You have been listening to the Vol XL. Thank you so much.